Hey guys, it's Disney Dwayne, and welcome to another episode of Disney Dust. We're going to be reviewing Marvel's Doctor Strange, and this is the third phase of the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But before we do that, I just wanted to reach out personally. It's been a while since I've talked to anyone about things about the channel and things like that, so I just want to say thank you to those core number of you, especially who have been watching every single episode of any video that I release. And of course, I'm just so amazed that this has grown from just a podcast called Once Upon a Fairy Tale to, all these various things like covers and park adventures, as well as the series called Disney Dust. Who would have thought we would hit that many number of videos and even get the attention of YouTube Singapore? I live in Singapore. I just didn't imagine I would be going on this journey. More about that in episodes to come. And also, I would like to start up a website so that we categorize all the videos that have been out there. So all that to come on the channel, much to look forward to, and a big sincere thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now about this movie, as usual, I'm not going to get into spoilers territory till later on. I'll try to be clearer about that. But what did I think in general? Doctor Strange was quite a Inception kind of with the buildings and everything meets a pretty standard Marvel movie. But what I like about it is that it didn't have that many superheroes. So a lot of people might say this is simple, but because it didn't have many superheroes like the Avengers, where there's so many heroes competing for attention almost, this was clean, simple. It's an origin story, and very straightforward and very good to follow. And also it is very in line with the kind of theme that this movie has, which I really like because I'm quite a Zen practitioner myself. So where Doctor Strange meets the Ancient One and learns all these Zen things. I wish there was more though, but it was nothing that I couldn't follow. I loved it. I was like sucking it all up, and I actually wanted more. In terms of casting, I know there was this big hoo-ha about Tilda Swinton, by the way, who played an excellent Ancient One. There was this big hoo-ha about her not being Asian because he actually goes to Tibet to learn stuff, right? After his thingy. I'm just trying not to spoil it for you. So she does this big disclaimer saying she's Celtic. So you can't fault her for not being Tibetan anymore, which is, I think, what she was in the comics. Of course, this is an origin story, so in a lot of the things that happen in the canon, Doctor Strange is much farther along the way, and we are only seeing just the first part of it. I know that this is third phase, and I think there are going to be, if I'm not wrong, 2 more movies with Doctor Strange in it, so we'll see how this character progresses as we go along. There is a mention of the Avengers, of course, and what's different about this world and what's different about Doctor Strange in comparison with them. So the other disclaimer was that he deals with mythical type situations or mythical attacks or mythical beings, and it's quite suitable because this is kind of a more spiritual sort of realm that Doctor Strange is set in, and we also see that because the universe is very psychedelic. It's kind of very trippy, actually, in fact, and so it's very exciting to see that, to have him talk about energies, and even there was a little quick mention of chakras, and he astral projects and things like that. So it's pretty exciting. There is a spiritual warfare almost going on, and it's complicated in the sense that there's kind of like no good and evil. Everybody kind of like has their purpose and reason for doing things. So there are layers. It's not very black and white. It's very gray sometimes, and I find that exciting. Also, the concept of time being not linear, which is what I believe in, and it just being happening all at the same time. I just love it. You can tell. I just love this movie. What else? Now I might have to go into spoiler territory now. It's amazing how hands are such a focus of it. There's a lot of hands, and I think it was beautifully directed. A little bit too much CGI at the start, like when they're fighting, especially. I think when they do CGI with the human type characters, you can see it's CGI. but when they're doing the buildings and like the I don't know how they do these patterns of the buildings folding in and out. It's pretty amazing. It's very mathematical, which is kind of in line with the sort of spiritual thing, because they all have like mantras and they also have like symbols that they meditate on. So like this pattern of buildings falling in and out is very, very much a part of that world. I feel very, very cleverly done. And well, the thing about the hands though is that he loses his hands in an accident, and so he's trying to find a way to heal them, and that's where he meets the Ancient One in Tibet. It was very powerful how he ends up not healing, but he's found something else. He's gained like spiritual maturity. He's been enlightened a little bit more, and so he sees that cause and effect thing, and accepting reality, and accepting your destiny and fate. So it's a very powerful thing in a sense where you actually learn a lot about, you compare it to your situation in life, accepting your reality of things but making do with it. I also like one line where Tilda, Swinton's character, says that your demons never go away, you just learn to stay on top of them. And that's very powerful too. So parts of it is in New York, and then they kind of move over to an Asian country, which got me really excited. They moved to Hong Kong, maybe just because, the Disney park is there. But I was really hoping that they would have moved to Singapore, because that would have been really exciting to maybe even hear about a casting call and be part of it, I don't know, but an Asian, like, I don't want to necessarily as an actor have to play an Asian just because I'm Asian, so that's the other thing. But anyhow, there was a lot of advertising. It wasn't subliminal, but it was, it wasn't too forced. A lot of different brands came up in the movie, so I guess that's what they're doing these days. Overall, I'd say I'd give this movie, what's 75% out of 100? That, my math is so bad, is that it's not 4 stars, it's probably 3.5 stars. So yes, that's what I think about the movie. It's good. It's good. It's a decent movie. I'm sure it'll do well. I'm sure box office, ticket sales would be really, really high, and I would recommend watch it because I liked it quite a lot. Hey, you know what? I'll give it 4 stars. I actually liked it. It didn't feel like 2 hours. It actually passed really fast. So go catch it. Right, till the next episode of Disney Dust, this is Disney Dwayne here. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends about the channel, and I look forward to making more videos for you in the future. Bye!